Back in April of 2026, HubSpot released their AEO tool. It's available to Marketing Pro and Enterprise users, or anybody that's using the platform can pay $50 a month to access the tool. So I'm just going to walk through the steps of setting up the AEO tool and show you kind of what the features are and what sort of things you can do with the tool. Obviously, AEO is a huge piece of anybody's marketing strategy right now. There's a lot of people that are going to LLMs like ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity to search for software solutions, search for really any solution for their business or for their personal lives. And so, while SEO still has its place, AEO really needs to be a part of anybody's strategy when it comes to capturing intent online. So let's take a look at the HubSpot AEO tool. To find it, you're going to go to the Marketing tab and then AEO. You'll see it still has that beta tag next to it. And then this is what you should see if you haven't set it up. If you've already set this up, you'll get to your dashboard and it'll show you all the great information. But if you have not set this up before, you're going to go ahead and see this. So we're going to want to put our brand in here. This is our brand name and then our domain. And what we're going to do is hit activate AEO. And as you can see, there's a 3-step setup here. So I'm going to click this button. It's going to analyze my brand data, get some information, identify competitors, and it's going to give me a rough setup here. All right, it finished its initial updates, and so now you can see I'm able to enter some different brand name variations. So we've got SwyftRev, all lowercase, all uppercase, lowercase r, some different variations of the name. I might also put SwyftRev as in the actual spelling of the word. We'll try that. Do a couple options there. And then you can add additional domains as well. You'll be able to add and track additional brands after onboarding from your dashboard. So you could type your other domains in here as well and add them. I just have SwyftRev.com, so I'm going to hit next. And now it's going to do a deep dive into competitors. All right, as you can see, it did its job identifying a few different competitors here. I honestly don't know if this is accurate or not. I don't think so, especially this restaurant one. So the good thing is we can add more competitors here by doing it manually, which is great. And we can also edit them later from the dashboard. I'm going to go ahead and update this list real quick and then go from there. All right, so I went ahead and added some competitors manually. So I'm going to go ahead and move to the next step by hitting continue. Now it's going to analyze my products and my ICP. As you can see here, it is identifying the different products. So lots of HubSpot revenue operations work, some consulting. This looks fairly good. So we should be good there. I can always edit these if I need to, or delete them and remove different ones. And then the ICP side, it's going to show me who exactly I'm selling to. So my ideal customer profiles, so scaling SaaS operations teams, early SaaS founders, lots of SaaS stuff, B2B. So this is looking pretty good. Restaurant and food service, not me, more food service. So I'm just going to update these, make sure I'm happy with what it's identifying, and then move to the next stage. All right, so I got these in good shape. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next stage. And so now we're going to the prompt stage. So this is all about generating prompts. So this is where it's going to give us some stuff based on product, ICP. We can select a location. I'm going to select the United States and hit continue. And now it's going to generate prompts that it's assuming our ICPs are going to be searching or asking LLMs that we're going to want to be ranking for. So as you can see here, which agencies specialize in HubSpot reporting and revenue analytics services? That's something I want to show up for and know, am I showing up for that sort of stuff? Which HubSpot consulting firms help unify marketing, sales, and success reporting? So these are all looking pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. Of course, you can always add more prompts as well, but I'm going to hit continue. And now we should have finished the setup piece. So it's just going to analyze those prompts, get our dashboard set up, and then we'll be able to start leveraging the HubSpot AEO tool. All right, now that it is finished setting up, it is giving me a quick glimpse at how my brand is showing up in different AI tools. So it's initially running through Gemini and going through to see, am I showing up for these different prompts in that tool? As you can see, the first one looks like I did not show up for, so I'm getting that red X. And it's just going to go through each of these in this little animation. You can obviously go through this, you can view all answers, or you can go straight to your dashboard. I'm going to select go to dashboard. And it can take some time, as you can see in this blue pop-up, for these things to process. But in my dashboard, I can start seeing things, checking things out, getting a feel for how this is laid out. So as we can see up here, we've only added 10 of 50 prompts. This is with Marketing Hub Enterprise. So I can add 40 more prompts that I want to understand how I'm ranking for. And then we can see down here all the brand metrics. So brand visibility, this is from just today, obviously, because I just set this up, but this timeline will change. And obviously this data is not up to date because my prompts are still updating. But this is where you'll be able to see your brand visibility. So you'll be able to see essentially what percentage of the time you're showing up as compared to competitors for a variety of different prompts. You'll be able to also view that against the different LLMs that HubSpot currently includes, which is ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity. This is then where it is important for those competitors. You'll be able to see how you're ranking compared to those different competitors. As you can see, some of the different people I added here are ranking significantly better. Again, this will update over time as the data runs through, but you can see a nice competitor snapshot here. And then citation analysis as well. So this is where you're going to be able to see those top domains, where those things are coming from, and the websites that are most commonly referenced in AI-generated answers. So obviously HubSpot.com is going to be very common. That is a peer channel type as opposed to a competitor channel type, and it'll give you a glimpse of the frequency that it's showing. We can then see top URLs as well. So what are the most common URLs being referenced in AI-generated answers? So it'll give you the content type, which is super nice. Again, that channel type, the frequency, brand mentions, and then competitors mentioned as well. So you can see that onemetric.io mentions Rev partners. So that's going to help them get referenced in AI answers. Same with this one, swivelteam.com references them. So that's also going to help them show up, so on and so forth. So lots of great information you can pull from here to understand what's causing yourself or competitors to show up and get a sense of maybe where you need to start producing content, getting your brand out there to be able to start showing up in LLM results. So this is the dashboard view. We can then go to our prompts view, which is going to show us the prompts we have set up. Again, I only have 10 of 50 in here, so I can add 40 more. And then what's nice is you can actually do this little demo environment, basically, of the different tools. So I can do ChatGPT, Gemini, or Perplexity. I can run any of these prompts, and I can see what it's going to say. I can do some prompt analysis. Again, per prompt, I can see how competitors are ranking. And then it's also nice that this doesn't just give us the data, but it also gives us recommendations of what we can do to improve this. So here you'll see that recommendations tab. Nothing's ready yet because, again, I don't have all the data flowing. We just set this up. But also this recommendations tab over here. This will give you all sorts of great recommendations in terms of owned content, social amplification, outreach, news, in-progress completed stuff. So whether it's technical updates, whether it's you need to start a blog on your website and start producing content there, this will be great for helping you put that strategy together to start ranking within those LLMs and start showing up when people are searching those prompts. I skipped the citations tab here, so I'm going to go back there. So here is where you're able to see citation performance versus competitors. So again, citations are super important, super critical for coming up in LLMs, whether it's through Reddit, different listicle articles on different websites, social media, YouTube, whatever the case may be. These LLMs are pulling content from all over the place, and so it's important to have strong, consistent content in as many different places as possible to basically tell the LLMs that, hey, I'm reputable, what I'm saying is true, what I do is accurate, you should be referencing me whenever people are asking you questions about this specific topic. This is a great place for you to be able to analyze kind of what's going on there. So you can see the performance, again, against your competitors. You can see how it's set up, all of the different things that are contributing to it. So you can see listicles are huge here. Product is huge here, whereas user reviews, PR, research, multimedia, social towards the bottom, those are not quite as referenced. So you can look at that as an opportunity. You can look at that as, okay, I need to get involved in listicles, all that sort of stuff. Citation by channel as well. So it's super nice that we can see how much is peer versus competitor versus earned UGC review sites. And then down here, you can see the overview of the top citations. Again, a lot of it we just saw on that dashboard. But again, just another good view to see that sort of stuff. And then same thing, you can see all sorts of great citation data on this tab as well. So the only thing I'll mention about the AEO tool right now is this top button up here is where you can add prompts. You can use AI to generate prompts. So you can basically put in, what your ICP is, what your products or services are, what buyer journey stage you want to consider for, let's say, evaluation, and then any sort of prompts you want to create per combination. So this is basically the number applies to each selected combination of audience, product, and buyer journey. So it's going to give you that number of how many you want it to generate, and then it can generate those for you. There's also a little breakdown here of how generation works, if you need more information on that. Or, of course, you can do this manually by manually adding prompts, putting it in, going from there. You can also do a bulk upload, which is super nice. So awesome, awesome tool. I think there's a lot of question marks in the market right now for how do I monitor, my AEO. Everyone's like, we're doing AEO, we're doing great stuff, we're making sure we're showing up. When my CFO searches a certain question on ChatGPT, we don't come up, and he came to us and he's upset. Like, those sorts of things are all within the marketplace right now. This is a great tool, whether you're a current HubSpot user and you want to start leveraging this because you just have it now as part of your HubSpot portal, but you just haven't started, or if you are just looking for a tool, you don't even use HubSpot, but you want something that's reliable, and you want to pay the $50 a month for a tool that does this, you can do that as well. So lots of opportunity here. Hopefully this was a helpful overview, and I think this is something that more and more teams are going to be using over the next few months. So hope this was helpful.